Hooves. Okay. Working on something else right now. Got a bunch of Discord messages doing the other team, but I got this as priority too, so it's kind of hard to now bounce back and forth. So I have to sacrifice that. So I said I'll be back in an hour, so hopefully that should be okay. It shouldn't be too important. Okay, it is, but oh well. Anyway, welcome. Yeah, once we get into it, I'll welcome you even more. How we doing? It's still taking. There we go. Welcome. I was just right in the middle of that, so I had to totally pause and slow down and go. Welcome. Yeah. My day's been pretty good. I've been mostly just hanging out, really, just working on a Fall Accessory project. Worked on that for about an hour, just animated one shot, so that was pretty good. One shot down. Yeah. Another news, the outside, I think the snow is starting to melt. So it snowed on Sunday, and then like it kept snowing like every other day. So now it's Thursday, so I think it's starting to melt about now. But we still have like a lot of snow, but it's like height-wise, so it's like it's probably take a bit and probably like freeze over the night, and then probably. Anyway, it's snowed in Seattle, and it's just been really messy. Thankfully, I live not too far away from Seattle, so it's like not gonna be too bad for that. But yeah, whatever. It's just middle of nowhere. Welcome. Hello, Star, Tamiko, Star again, and Governor. How you doing? Doing well. Hopefully, we'll finish this comic this time. We'll finish it. Haven't been following along. This is about a animated comic, motion comic, whatever you want to call it. Comic with little animation bits here and there. So, this is what we have so far. So hopefully by the end of this hour, we'll have something that looks a little bit different and maybe a little better. Also, that placeholder sign at the end, we'll have to figure out what to do with that. But it's better small stuff that I'm sure are no small stuff that you would never find in this, but I'll look through it and find it myself. Here we go. Hi, Cookie. Anyone else? All right. Let's see. I think we'll just kind of just start from one panel and just kind of go through each one of these. So now I know the length of the final one. The final one was the longest one, so now I know that's going to be 45, I think. It's either 48 or 40. Let me make sure. It's good to double check, because I haven't looked at this in 2 days. So 45. So usually these panels are different symbols, so they exist in their own like quality of timeline dimension, pretty much. So that's why I have to picture that each of these are independently designed like this. So I'm gonna kind of slow this down a bit. Maybe like double this up, so now it'll be a bit slower. There we go. My quality, it might be, I didn't actually test it, and the only way I can test it is to make a recording of it, of myself talking, and then change my input to be, I have like one USB that I use. I guess I can use the other one, but let me know, because I could do a quick swap around, but the trick with swap around is that it might become worse. But I think we'll just try that. Thank you for that. I will switch to this screen, so hang on. I'd have to mute myself too. That makes sense. Okay, so I'm getting muted for about 10 seconds, so hang on. test. How's that? That sounds good, and then we can move on. But otherwise, I know that this USB has a chance of like making a weird like sound that I'm not even sure what is. It sounds like I haven't actually heard it myself, but I've heard from other people saying that it's not quite pleasant. Same as kind of electronic. Might actually be the microphone actually dying in that case, but we'll have to make do with that. So sorry about that. If it gets actually progressively worse, then we'll have to switch it back to the other one. That's kind of bad. I have another microphone somewhere else, but that might be even worse quality. So maybe I should probably actually invest in those other mics. Yeah, I said over Christmas I should get more. Redo some of my software stuff for this. So that's a shame. That's as bad as I think it is. So okay, we'll make do. As long as you're able to like distinguish what I'm saying, you know. Hi Amala. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Not that bad. Okay. Does it sound louder here? Oh, let me make a snap. I can't make a snap. I can't snap. There we go. Is that loud or is this loud? Sorry. Because the onboard microphone on that camera has a microphone, and that one's way worse. So, which one sounded louder? Let me know about that. First one. So that's this one. Good. That means that it's not using that one, the actual camera one. So, add some more. Change the dialogue for this to be more fun. And then change it to be around the same text size, font height. Sorta. A little bit. Boop. Excuse me. Center it somewhat. We can duplicate it, and then change this. I already had an idea to do this. Is it really that bad? Ah. Ow. I snapped my finger. Or I cracked it. Okay. I'm in the middle of like 10 different thoughts at the same time, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a delivering. That's probably wrong. 42 packages a day. There you go. So these. I would just say like I had these ideas before I started, so that's why I'm able to just do this right now. Otherwise, I would have asked for your guys' opinions. Ooh, let me set up a little bit. Everything's wrong. Okay. We're doing good. We got one-ish done. This way that I want it. A little bit going in the breeze there. There we go. Is that E? Okay. Mala, you're an artist too? Sounds cool. Probably should label some of these layers, but whatever. I just noticed this was going to be like a side project kind of a thing where it's not like... I kind of treat these streams as not being too... be paranoid to make these perfect as much as they're just going to be messy. They're going to be messy. No matter what I do. So, it's good to embrace it. That is just going to be... Yeah. Not as clean as my cartoons, or if I have time to make my cartoons as clean as I can be, then I'll do that. Otherwise, they're just gonna be middle of the road quality. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Scores. If you have respect for funny, like my channel. Good to know. Yeah, my main thing is that I'm squeamish, most about gore. So thank you for telling me that up front. I appreciate that. We had an idea last time to have this hill like move sideways. I guess to have parallax. So when you just kind of just watch it with the third panel, it is a little bit awkward that it's just like it's supposed to be a traveling shot, but like the background isn't moving. So we could add something like that. Yeah, nah. Alright. Yeah, so I've never seen Cupcakes either. It's all cool. We all got our interest. Yeah, it's just my style is like probably the opposite. Everything's too cute and fluffy. Okay, I keep saving. But I want to figure out how to make this. What is layer? That and that layer. I'm gonna make these two into one symbol. Hill. And then over 40 frames. So I might have to just kind of go like this. And make this straight. Get that about straight there. Kind of just square it off and then see if I can duplicate it here. So let's actually put this cut, put it on a new layer. So now this is 2 parts. Then I can duplicate this again. So it's gonna be that. Get them all. Center it. How are we gonna do this now? So each of these are the same thing. It's probably gonna need one more. Put it over there. So now with the mask, it's gonna be there. Hide the mask. So basically I just need to move it 1 over 48 frames. So I'm getting technical. I just gotta figure this out first. Okay. And then tween it. So basically so that this tree matches up with this tree barely. Then that should work. So now it should feel, yeah, there's gaps in it, but we can fill that in. And one of them pops. Okay, it's good to know. That's the idea that we're just trying to get this to feel like it's like the same thing. The problem was that I didn't look at it closely enough to see that these kind of slowly change. Might have to redo this, but that's okay. Just might have to start over and then just make sure that these are definitely squared off. Squared off means that they're equally at the same height. It's kind of hard to tell unless I have guides. Let's get guides in. Or rulers. Rulers in, guide down. Put these down. Yeah, okay. Get these to be bulging out. That might work better. Okay, let's make this fill inside. Okay. How we doing? Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. Ah, okay. Reading your stuff. Ah. Wait, what? My stuff is way too extreme. Yeah, it's not for kids. Really cute. Yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit of background. Oh, I can talk about Kappa. I love Kappa. It's the best thing. It's the best new thing that ever since slice spread and all that. It means that all of our work for kids exclusive type content is now under copyright-ish kind of federal law, you know? It's like, yeah. The only other kind of like news that kind of sort of happened was that the MLP guy does the Derpy videos. Mr. Somebody caught once. This is bad. Dr. Wolf. There we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll try to make it quick. Mr. Dr. Wolf, he had a video saying like, oh man, he looked through all of his videos and I guess he had a hard time figuring out what exactly all that meant. Where he went through pretty much all of his all of his videos and then saw that that some of them were labeled made for kids. So he was just mildly upset about that. Trying to follow 10 things at once. Okay. That'd be done already. Okay, sorry. But yeah, he was like, man, this is upsetting, but also it's like, I feel like he didn't really understand it completely, as much as, at least in an opinion that I understand it. Because obviously anyone can make their own opinion about how copper even works at this point. So, what I understand is that COPPA and FTC, like, the rules seem to be pretty lenient at this point, where at least it makes sense to a sort of fault. Where if you make kid style or interesting to a kid video, then those will be more likely to be made for kids. And then the robot checking them all will say like, oh, that's Lego or that's actually Pinkie Pie, then we'll go for that. More so than a lot of other things. So obviously I would be on the list at some point, but no one has, I think, from what I've seen, with a little bit of like articles and stuff that I've seen, no one has like been fined, which has been the crux for a lot of people to be worried about this in essence. So until I find an actual like definitive article saying like this channel got fined by this much money and how many videos they had because they incorrectly by the rules of this means that this and that, you know. The only things that I've seen have been like that article, which the only one I've been able to find like concretely talking about it was like that Lego one where they had like name dropped like 20 channels, but it makes sense because they were in that sense, like it's all pretty neutral in that kind of sense. It's not like trying to actually be like you're being malicious or being abusive to this system that we created. It's more so that you actually create these kind of made for kids channels in the first place, so this is the rules now, kind of a thing. So it's kind of okay from that end. Dr. Wolf in his video was just upset because he didn't understand fully of that the robot who around December or so just like set up and like said like, I think this is a made for kids video. So that's where he was getting a little bit like sort of naive on that he didn't understand that that he can change it and say like, oh, it's not for kids, if that's actually what your audience you're looking for is. So it gets all complicated with that, so it's gonna be too hard to explain as I try and work on this. That's what this panel's about, kind of Become our meta joke of trying to figure this out. Sorry, Cookie. Yeah, I want to keep it quick. Okay, that's about it. Say Spike Day. Say something about Spike. Spike is definitely underrated, especially in the fandom where they treat it as a punching bag to just make lame jokes about him. So I don't know what's doing that. Yeah, because I don't usually use like the main 6 characters in my videos, I use the background characters. I mean, check this out. So, I don't have a problem with main 6 in some sense, but I kind of do in other senses. So it's like I never really tend to like use them in my projects, but that's why Spike never really appears, and it'd just be like too complicated to like make a Spike puppet. I tried it once before, like some other times with the more show style, just trying to recreate it a couple times, and then just at least I was trying to make it like an a 360 turnaround, and then somewhere around there, it's like Spike's not really made to be 3D in a way. You're not really supposed to rotate Spike in 3D space, so some of the other angles, like they look pretty good. But the others, they looked, yeah, more derpy, to say the least. We can add the sign to this to make it seem like a connection between the 6 panel. I'm gonna see if I can connect this sign up here. So I'll have to draw the rest of the sign up here. So, okay. But yeah, I think it's a fun character. It's just that he never really got much more attention than the other ones. Like all the Spike episodes always seem to be like when he has to like learn a lesson, and then it's like him being really dumb to actually like learn it and everything. So it's like, yeah, his reputation kind of like makes it seem like he's just there to be really like they had to like dumb him down to like make him learn this kind of lesson more so. So that's why people like not really look forward to Spike episodes, just because it's not very fun to watch him act like that. So other times, yeah, he's a very well developed character. Probably not as developed as some of the other characters, so that's why it kind of gets a little bit iffy in terms of that. Spikehead MXC. Ooh, so I like Spike. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you then. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just kind of just. Yeah. Just kind of just felt like he didn't really have these kind of stories with him, and just kind of felt like they had to make him a different character, essentially. And then that kind of got frustrating. That sort of works. Alright. I'll just kind of squish this. No. Squish this. Maybe even. Where does it go? Maybe around here. There we go. The box could be lower. Out of the way. Shorter. Mailboxes aren't that big. There we go. That's better. Or so. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. So I'll drink some water. That's good. Let's see. I think I'll add some snow on top of here. Just because I always into these weird details like this, where it's just like, everything's snow. Cover it up. Because it's still, we can kind of do this. Also can kind of maybe tint this so we don't really see what it is quite yet, you know? Make it brighter. over there, just so it doesn't blend in too much. We also replace this with our hills. Let's go back here. Hill inside. Hills. Just so each of these are the same. But have it not animate as well. Let's get rid of that. Make it a little smaller. Brighten it up. Like that. There we go. Looks nice. Or so. I don't know. But also pause it. There we go. Pause it. Here we go. How's the text in this one? It's pretty good. That's not the text. Should mute that down, skew it. Okay, there we go. Okay. How we doing? I think we're getting there. It's a lot of work to make this kind of comic. I've been playing with the movie a little bit. The movie's actually progressing more so than I thought, so I'm very happy about that. If you don't know, I'm making a 10-minute-ish short film. It's gonna premiere when it wants to, when it's ready. So I can't really tell you about that, but it's been in development for about off and on from around 20, I keep saying 17, just because that's about when I started to make the first draft or the script. So, yeah. But what's more exciting is that I made figured out how to use a lot of tutorials to learn how to make music. So I wanted to have some original score to the movie. It's maybe like when a character like shows up, then they'll have a musical motif, you know, and it'll seem a little bit more original to than just using my kind of stock library of using Animal Crossing music. So, so I've been really hammering away to try to figure out like learning like music theory in like a couple days. So, hopefully it'll turn out fairly good. I mean, you'll be the judge of that, but as a somewhat of a musician in like kindergarten to 4th grade, pretty much, I went to in 4th grade. I went to a lady's house like a couple cities away to learn piano. So from there, I was able to learn some of the musical techniques like that. So, but otherwise, yeah, it's been mostly just been me trying to relearn all of that now. As well as some other small stuff along the way as well. So now I know what a tonic is and a subdominant and like what all these other little weird things of music. So that's me about that. It's maybe the most ambitious animation project I've done. Animation project, yes. For the channel, it's hard to say between, I guess, it's hard to say ambitious because I've done an 8-minute, a different perspective with I Love Impossible a lot. I WD Guesser, as well as doing the one that I'm working on now with Fallout Celestia, which is about, for my part, probably like 15 or so minutes of animation, and then we're having another guy work on the rest of it. It'll be like more abstract parts. So we're going with that. So for this channel specifically, then yes, But for the other ones, it's hard to say exactly, just because they're not ambitious in that front. Because the technicality, I guess, the character animation technicality, I guess, might fall into that a little bit, because the Derpy movie, while it combines a bunch of different stuff, the Derpy movie doesn't exactly have the fluidity, I guess, as the Folly does, because Folly is going to be very show style, that it looks like the show as much as I can and animate that. So for that front, then that'll be most ambitious. So I'm trying to work on like two of those projects at the same time. So that's where it gets more very hectic with that. Didn't do a thing. Blink. Yay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to answer that, because Folly is longer and has more fluid stuff, or at least 360 characters, where 2D characters where they have like a puppet, like how this has one angle, but then I would use a different separate puppet that would be at a different angle to the camera. So the camera kind of determines how which puppet to use, essentially, for what angle. Like here would be profile, 3/4, front. Now I can go backward to 3/4, and then back I can't turn around. So, and then in some shots you might have like a character, what? So you have to use like bop, character head here, character head here. So you have to be swapping between these different heads to be able to make that fluidity of, instead of having this kind of thing where they don't really change your head angle much. I've done it sometimes where they would have to like look, they had to like turn from their head and then immediately look away. So instead of like having their head like flip straight from here to here, I might have an in-between, or this head disappears, and then I would have another one of her head facing this way, and then go back to the other side. So with that kind of motion. So in that sense, it's like I'm used to doing that. I've done other projects like that, so it's not quite as, whoa, that's ambitious to do, but it's kind of almost necessary for a lot of cartoons. So that's where it kind of gets confusing how to answer that too. But the movie is now, at least, and this kind of where we are now, it's gonna be for me on my own, doing 2D as well as 3D in Blender with original music, as much as I can handle before I get too fed up with that. That's the plan for now. So, but the technicality of the character animation might be simpler. So, but obviously with Folly, we're not using 3D, or I'm not doing the music on that end. So, in that sense, then it'd be simpler too. So, take us whatever you want out of that conversation with that. So I feel like they're about equal, just in different ways, I guess. But yeah, but length-wise, I think Folly is probably the longest project I've worked on, and definitely the longest I've worked on a project as well. So, kind of evens out with that too. That is just a lot of work. The script for Folly was like nearly 30 pages. Like on the 29th page is like one paragraph. So it's a lot. But thankfully not everything is going to be show style accurate animated. So It's just gonna be a lot of sequences of them just kind of talking. So I'm good at that, where I'm able to knock out like a 5-second shot of like one character moving in and talking in like an hour. So, yeah, a lot of people working on it. They're able to build up their muster too. So I'm very grateful that we eventually got some good people now to work on it. So, thank you guys. Yeah. But I think back then definitely the different perspective was definitely the first most ambitious that I probably worked on. That was like just a huge leap from doing a 1 minute fun, wacky, silent cartoon to 8 minutes of a deep lore with I Live Possible, lots OC talking with Discord and all the princesses talking to each other. So that was my first like, whoa, this is a major project kind of feeling. Boop. Stop me if I gotta get too political with this. I mean, like, gotta make this sign into the YouTube logo. That is an idea. We make this into the play button. And then she's gonna like bash into it. That's not the right color. That'd be white. I'm gonna get copyright strike for this. That'd be cool. This would be like a logo, and I'm out using it with their preferred colors, you know. It was just kind of, it looks like it, you know. This might be a bit too saturated red. Let's kind of tilt it down a little more pink. Yeah. I'm gonna change this color, but it looks pretty good. Where are we? Change this to be darker. Boop. There we go. So now, there we go. I think we're just about done. If there's any more, I guess I can open again. If there's any more, like, why don't you try this? We can try that for a couple more minutes. I think we're pretty good. I think I did everything that I wanted to out of this. That's why I needed to focus, be able to finish it on relative time. I think the play button, yeah, it's the YouTube logo or something. I don't know if it's accurate or not. I have to look it up. That was a slurp and a half. Okay. I can't even burp it out. Blah. Okay. Well, the other things that I could add, like, would be adding blinks to 2 and 4. But I think they're not really needed, or you probably wouldn't notice before I told you about that. But so we can make this. You can kind of read it, I guess. Or I guess however can you read it. There we go. Arrow should be smaller. Arrow. Okay. Looks like there's only one arrow in here. I think maybe make it thinner. Let's see. It's supposed to be like an advertising sign, but it's not good. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's supposed to be like that. Yeah, it's hard to get the angle. This is like a triangle on the side now. Doesn't look right. Feels uneven. Let's see. It's pretty good. Get a vector for the YouTube money symbols. Put that on the sign. The orange demonetized little thing. I might have that on my YouTube studio. I could probably find that. Maybe instead of like the dust cloud, they could be like little demonetization buttons instead of like this being a cloud. I don't know. Or maybe we could just leave it alone. Yeah. I'll look up to see what the buttons look like. YouTube demonetization button. Uses. Yeah, it's just a $sign with an orange background. Okay, with a circle. Okay. How should we go about it then? Should we change the YouTube sign into the demonetization? Does that make as much sense? I'm not sure if it'll be readable that way. Use it pass off as a bank. Also, reading reference. Okay. Let's try 2 different versions and then we'll see which ones people like better. Just because I like my version. Let's change this to be orangey. It's more yellow orangey, right? Yeah. There we go. It's like a really gross color. I don't think I'll be able to find it. It's like in the yellow, but then it's like around here. Yeah, that's close. Okay. Text, money, and then money is white. Sure, like that. Center it. Alright, it has to animate. Do we like YouTube sign? Or do we like weird orange money sign? Vote for what you like. Do you like that? Or do you like it be a standard like YouTube sign? Boop, 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 boop. If I get one vote, then that'll determine it. Okay. Let's see what you got. Boop, 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 boop. What do people like? I know there's like 4 people here. But anyways, you gotta vote. Boop, 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 boop. Vote for money. Okay, let's see if there's anyone else besides Cookie who suggested it. I don't know. YouTube arrow. Yeah, we got democracy. Woo. I think it's more readable as a YouTube sign, but I think maybe it makes in very. It's not really what am I looking for? Esoteric or like too niche to know. So I would go with the YouTube logo more so than an orange. It would make sense to like more YouTube savvy people, because think like you have to think like if your great aunt looked at this comic, that's what I'm thinking about. Would they recognize this more than this? So that's where I get like trying to figure out. So I'm gonna choose the button. It's a good idea to figure this out, but yeah, having more options is fun. But I'm gonna go with this for my opinion on that. Whoop. Okay. Alright, zoom back out again. I don't like the spacing of that. No! Yeah! Yeah! Oh yeah! 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 That. There you go. Okay. Okay. Oh, I can zoom in. That's right. That doesn't work. Zoom in. That's too much. Can I zoom out? Zoom out. Anyway. Hopefully you can see it. Yep. That doesn't really work. So we can read it. This will be fun. Then we can call it a night. And then I can upload this either as a SWAF or a GIF. Maybe, probably as a GIF. If there's anything else that we see with this one, then we can hopefully do that quick. So, what's the meaning of life? Delivering 42 packages a day. I thought I could spruce that up to be a little bit more filling, I guess. More than what is life? 42 is what we had before. So I think I got a little better at that. What's my cutie mark mean? Is it because I like bubble wrap, or do I just like bubbles? Are butter and margarine the same thing? Who was the first person to milk a cow? I got the scrolling back right now. Can't get to the bottom of this. There we go. What exactly counts as for kids? Is my existent advertiser friendly? Ah, there's a quote at the end. No! I have to fix that. Ah. Ah. That's what should reset. Good. Yep. And then she delivers this package. She's like talking, and that was kind of cute. Thank you, Derpy. And then both kind of blink. I kind of like how they have, like, if you watch their eyeballs, they kind of like move up a little bit. And then she's like going back, and then she falls into the YouTube sign, I guess. That's supposed to be this sign, which I hid for the spoiler of the ending gag. So there you go. So I had this idea I had the skeleton of this pretty well before I started, so couldn't have done it without you guys to fill in the text. So super appreciate you guys for making that. Maybe waving at flies. Okay. That should be just posing her arm in a different angle. Let's find her. I had that too, but it's like, don't know if it's important enough. 7. Like that. Let's figure out where she is. It's around there. Wave. 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 Up. Up. No. Yep. Oh. There we go. Saying goodbye. Yeah, I had that idea before, but I just never got around to it. Or I didn't notice it. There we go. It's hard to tell, but there we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see exactly what's going on, but now it's more of a pose than what we had before. So, I know that spatial of like her in the sign doesn't make sense, but we're gonna leave that alone because we didn't start with the idea of the sign being a part of the house that she goes to. So, the way to rumify that should make sense. That this would be the camera angle of like pretty much from this sort of angle. So you would be like over here closer, and then you see this over here, I think. But otherwise, I think this is pretty much good. Yeah, I think we added everything. This one doesn't need anything else really. I think it's pretty good. It's just me breezing, born into being. Okay, I think we're good. How we doing? Did I miss anything else in the comments? Because otherwise, we'll go to toast time, and then there won't be much time to do anything else. You know what I mean? Gotta learn how to drink. It's just water. Okay. Did it. Okay. Let's go to toast time. Woo. There you go. Thanks for watching. I'll upload this probably tonight. See how long it takes to render the individual pictures to make it a GIF. because there's 45, which shouldn't take too long with the. There's not too many filters or things that would take long to render. So I'll post it on many places as I can. So thanks guys for watching. And then we'll figure out what to do next time. So see ya. Welcome back. Love doing that. Okay, towards the time. Let's see. Any unfinished business in the chat? I know that I really wanted to scrub this out really quick. So that got really focused for most of the time. So yeah. Anything else? The only thing I can think of is at the Smash Bros. Direct. That was almost 12 hours ago or so. I don't know. I came into it like being pretty neutral. I wasn't really a fan of like it being really Dante at first. So I was like, wasn't really like leaning into that and thinking like, oh yeah, there was no evidence of that really that I saw. So it just really never really came up to me like going like, never really thought that that would be the outcome. So when I watched it, like, oh, the story with that was that I tried my best to like just like wake up, open YouTube. I watched it like a couple hours after it released, so there was already like, you know, billions of reactions already with the Nintendo Direct or Smash Direct, and one of the thumbnails right below it from the official one was a picture of the Cuphead. So I was like, oh, cool. Cuphead's the next fighter. So I was like, all right. So I went into that going like, yeah, can't wait to see Cuphead. Sure, all right, that looks legit. And then it's like, oh, Fire Emblem. So if you don't know, the next Smash Bros. Character is some Fire Emblem character that I don't even know how to pronounce. So I'm not a huge Fire Emblem guy. And I'm pretty neutral about it. That it's like I'm not really. Maybe I'm not. I didn't really buy any of the other characters. I didn't even buy Joker or like any of the other characters. So it's like I already have like 70 characters, and I'm sure I haven't played all of them. So to have like 5 more, it's like yeah, it's a bit too much for me. So I wasn't like super invested. Like at the edge of my seat, as like I already bought the pack, and then it's like who could it be? Like who am I spent my money on? I feel like that might have been another reason that people will be upset. So, but anyway, it's just not Fire Emblem. It's like that's okay. Like I'm sure like Sakurai like really knows how to make Fire Emblem characters, so like I'm sure they'll be good. You can change the gender. So I was like I don't know how to say now. I don't even know how to say bliff the blife bibliff Blythe, you know. So if I could have had it, I would have had it be one of the even like he said it in the direct, like no spin-offs, but it's like I wanted the character from Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE. I would have liked the Tsubasa or one of those, you know, for the generic anime guy, the main protagonist. Even just that guy, I'd be like, oh, cool. Because then you could like have a Fire Emblem stand and be like, oh, that's cool. And gonna be more interesting than having a generic other Fire Emblem protagonist that can also wield other weapons. And it's like that's a good start, but it's just like I played Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, so I know most of the characters in it. So I was like, they're pretty cool. Like, the whole game is pretty much a visual novel where you just like spend time talking with them, more so than you spend like half the time like battling and half the time just talking with your friends. So it's like you start to get to know them. So it's like it'd be nice to have one of those characters. Rather than this guy that I don't even know what of 3 houses is. So that's just my take on it. That I'm neutral. I'm not really gonna spend money on the whole pack. I'm okay with not having any of them. I have 70 others to play around with. I already have Inkling. Inkling's my main in Ultimate, but my main is Captain Falcon. So it's like I already got my mains. I don't think I'll. I think the other one, the newer DLC ones, are like too tech heavy, where instead of like a like a 64 character where they know jump and punch, you get like a hero, which is like what even is a curse splat, you know? You have to figure out what that even is. Just not being recognizable with the series to know what. If you had to know what the series, those kind of mechanics are, like you have to play the game to know what these mechanics are for the Smash Bros. I think that's a bit too much. Like if everything relies on knowing the mechanics of the original game to be able to play as a Smash Bros. Character, I think that might be a bit much. So that kind of turned me off a little bit. I'd rather just have like a, just a regular jump and punch man. So don't need to. If I don't like, who was that fighting character guy that was new? Terry Pratchett. He's a bit too complicated. People that if you need to like break your controller to be able to punch someone, I think that's a bit much, So if I could just like hit B, and then kind of Falcon does a Falcon punch, and it's like, oh, that's cool, rather than having to press 10 buttons exactly in this angle and sequence and timing. It's like that's not for me. So but otherwise, it's interesting that Bibliff is trying to be techie. With like the different weapons, but I've heard that's trying to be too gimmicky, and it's like that. If it fits the character, then I think that's fine. Like even the original, I haven't played Three Houses, so I don't know if whether you can change your weapon, or if it's just supposed to be like a summary of like, hey, in this game you can use these weapons, but Bibliff can't use it, then I think that'd be a bit of a miss. Yeah. The other thing is, never in a director like way cooler. Like Cuphead is like, oh, that's actually more interesting somehow. And it's just like a 3D model, more than an actual like character that you can play as. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I like everything in the DLC, but the fighters. I like the stages and like the spirits and the classic modes. I just don't like the fighters. Like they get too complex that it doesn't seem fun. But on the other hand, if they're too like simple, like Sonic, where everything is a spin dash, and it's like that might be boring. But if they have enough some variety, then that kind of mix to be a bit average. Like these characters are like too almost based on their original games that it becomes their fault. Where a simple game might have like, Mario and Sonic, where it's just like a jump and shoot, but then you get like Bayonetta and Shulk, and it's like, what even? Whoa, what's going on? Not able to comprehend on that. Cuphead was best. Yeah, sorry, teaching us the company. Binary was the best. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I think it would just be like 3 houses, and then he had 3, and it's like that's why did he make it more complex? To make it 17, but then it's like, oh, but we gotta exclude all the spin-offs. It should be interesting, like figure out like what his number would be for like other series, like more complex, like Mario. Like, how many games are in the Mario series, according to Sakurai, and like other stuff? Like, does it count? Things that would be like the trophies, like a Paper Mario. There's the Paper Mario trophies and stages. Does it count that as a spin-off? Stuff like that would be interesting. But Banjo isn't complex. He's got that feather meter, and it's like you got that like if you use this too much, then something happens or you can't use it anymore. They got to like too many meters. Maybe because I like Splatoon, like I've played too much Splatoon to like understand it. But I think these some of the other meters aren't as easily readable. Like you got to think of like a green ant, like picking it up and go, oh yes, I have a backpack on my back. This looks like the thing, like the meter looks like the thing on your back, and it goes down visually in both places on 3D and the 2D. But the way that you're supposed to like refresh it is important, but it doesn't make sense of shielding and B or down and B. I don't even know. I just gotta just mash until I refresh. Like I don't even remember how to do that. So, but I think some of the other meters are like feathers and the Final Fantasy man. Who was it? Cloud. It's like stuff like that, where it's like, what does that mean? Or like Lilac, and it's like there's too many meters of like figuring out those. Like Mario doesn't have a super meter, you know. Link and Bowser could have had a meter for something. Why didn't they retroactively add that in? Why doesn't every character have a meter? Yeah. I really want the Grand Ant audience. Be nice. I don't know. It's most like separate, but like old person, I guess. So I can't. Okay. So in summary, I think I should probably wrap up. But that's not the summary. So I finished this. Thank you for helping with this comic. So next time we'll have to figure out something new to do. I'll probably have a poll probably this week. I'll probably link it in Discord and Twitter. Maybe I'll make a Twitter poll and then link it through Discord or something. I'll figure it out. To see what people like or maybe don't like about streams. I think I'm looking for what would you like to see out of future streams, like in categories. I'll figure them out, but I think do you like progress streams of like working on the movie, or like these kind of short things, or maybe make it super collaborative, and then I can for next week probably do whatever gets the most votes, so we can do something like that. Think about that. Yeah. Anything else? I kind of talked about. Don't need to talk about Kappa. What else? What else? The other projects I've talked about too. Where I talked about Folly. Where the movie's got some momentum. There's still actually a little bit more to animate. Actually, believe it or not, there's still more to animate for the movie. For the first, what I'm calling the prologue. The prologue actually needs more animation. So I need to actually add more characters in. So, like that could be a stream where I create characters, you know? I don't know if that'd be interesting. Or maybe it'll just be like, because it'll be like Ponyville characters. So that might be fun. But I might get requests of like some character. And it's like, oh, wasn't planning on that. Or might be too complex, or be not a pony, and then be like, oh, I had the spike problem again, where it's just like, yeah, it don't really fit in with what I was thinking. So it might work just to do simple ones, or just one-on-ones, or just making recolors, which the show does. So it's like, yeah, that'll be fine. Where it's just like, you just have carrot cake or bonbon, and you just flip the colors and then reverse it or something, and it's like a new character, you know. But otherwise, I think we're good here. I'll see about the technicality, or the technical of the microphone. I'll see if I need to actually make a new microphone, because I think the problem when I was trying to start it, before I started the stream, I noticed that it wasn't quite connecting through to my stream box. So it seemed like it wasn't really picking me up well, or yeah, when I see the volume meter, I can see a real-time view of the microphone volume as I speak, so it seems to not be, it seems to only really be picking up my voice. I'm used to it have some just air room flow, or it's here in my computer, like fans going, so it's like a little bit weird that when I'd stop, it makes no noise. So something up to that. There's a heater. I don't know if you can hear that. Should be like a nice blowing sound. Yeah, that was my test. So I have to look it up. Otherwise, these microphones have actually been through, figuratively, the ringer. So might be time to get a new one. So, so if this one sounds like really bad, then I'll look into it and investigate it to invest into it. Here we go. But yeah, otherwise I think we're good. So as that says, thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll see you next time, next week, next Tuesday, when we do something maybe you decide. So look out for that poll and then the this comic around in places. So thank you. See you next time. Bye.